We deliver tickets, t-shirts, and everything you need to rock. But what you really get is so much more.
FedEx, delivery.
Passion, what we deliver by delivering.
So like the headset, like
Log Talk Radio.
I didn't even hear you when she cut you off. All I heard was that noise.
Right, yeah.
She ignorant. But welcome, guys. Right? Welcome, guys, to tonight's show. Guys, I want to say hi.
What's going on, good people? You already know it's your boy Clint, a.k.a. Smooth.
What up, though? It's your boy Willie Styles in the building. Welcome to the show.
Yes. Yes. We had a great show lined up for y'all tonight. It is December 13th, 2018. December is flying by. I can't wait to get on by. I need January to get here. I'm always rushing it, but I really need December to get on by.
Don't rush December. I still got some stuff to do this December. I got things to do.
I need January. Like, I need to breathe air. That's how bad I want January to get here. Like, I'm over December.
That could be like that sometimes.
Yeah, especially like it's more of a work issues. I just need to get to January so I can figure out what people are doing so we can know what we're supposed to do with our job because there's so many changes. So I need them to get to January so we get past that hurdle and move on. But if you're listening right now, you're on blogtalkradio.com/GFT radio show. Listening to the playback, you're either on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play Music, or YouTube, or you're listening on Blog Talk Radio. Yeah. If you guys want to cop some merch, go to teespring.com /stores/GFT radio. Those will be my sister's Christmas gifts. I'm getting y'all shirts. They're not listening, so y'all listen to the playback. Y'all are. That's what I asked y'all for your shirt sizes yesterday. I placed the order. So that's what they're going to get when they're Christmas. Y'all going to promote my podcast. That's what y'all get for Christmas. Dope ass Christmas gifts, I'm telling y'all. Reasonable prices. Go get y'all. Get y'all mug.
Yeah.
It's going to be cold outside, y'all.
I think we got the dopest podcast shirts. I'm just going to put it out there. We got the dopest podcast shirts, Shout out to all the podcasts, but our shirts they rocking. So
yes, I'm gonna go cop. Absolutely. So go cop those for Christmas gifts and buy yourself one for yourself for Christmas. Do that. If you guys want to call in on the topic, 657-383-1155. So
we were gone a week, so we should have a lot of energy. You have a lot to ponder on this subject since we had an extra week to think about it.
Yeah, I just had some. Coincidentally, I had a situation pop up, and I'm gonna ask y'all advice on it a little later in the show because I need to understand what the hell. But yeah, I definitely had I definitely this topic is on point for me at least right now. So. I don't know about the rest of you people, but I know it's on point for me. But yeah, this topic came up because I was talking to the guys not last week. I want to say last week, it wasn't last week. The week after our show that we had, the week prior, and I was talking about like the different stuff that get placed upon relationships due to our the society that we all grew up in. The ride or die chick is like how ride or die you got to be. Like, why do you have to always prove yourself that you're loyal rather than just normal shit? The normal relationship shit that shows that you're loyal. You got to go above and beyond and deal with so much shit to be deemed as loyal. And I think people throw that loyalty word around and don't really understand it. About different things about men in relationships. They can't cry. Some women say it's a weakness. Especially when a big thing is. A lot of men don't necessarily express their emotions. They kind of deal with and I've from my personal experience of knowing a lot of guys that I know and in relationships that I've been in, a lot of the men are not as expressive of their feelings. They're under the assumption that a female should just know, and or they just don't express themselves because it seemed as not manly. I don't know. Now, I'm not just talking about crying. I'm talking about verbally.
Yeah, I think it's a total misconception.
It is.
I think it's a total misconception. I just think it's a misconception overall. Completely. Like that's why when you brought up the topic, I had that title, "Has Society Perverted?" Because I think a lot of people for so many years are getting accused of relationships, and maybe I should have said popular culture. You feel me? Which isn't really reality. You know what I mean? A lot of people get a lot of their stuff from what they see on from TV or from music. You know what I mean? It's not really real. Like, and then what I don't understand is for centuries, you feel me, women and men been having the same complaints. Well, guess what, people? We're different. We deal with things different. We process different. So you got to think. Your mom, her mom probably was saying the same thing about men. Oh, they don't express. We do express ourselves. It's just different from how y'all would.
Yeah, and I think it's also different on the level of how we understand. Because I know with women, they say we are very emotional, and sometimes we overreact, or we're reacting off of our emotions because some of us wear more than most females. And then I've been told that I've been told a lot that I'm act like I don't care, or I'm not, because I'm not as emotional. It's assumed that I don't care because I'm not like at times I can be very emotional, but for the most part I'm not, and it's giving off to the perception that I'm just this person that don't give a fuck about nothing, and this is why people are the way they are with me. So that's why I say I think it's a misconception on all of our parts, because everybody's different. Everybody expresses it, and it's whether or not you hear them or whether or not you understand how you understand them or you can understand and identify when they are expressing what their feelings on different things, whether you hurt them, whether you...
Yeah, like I was saying, that's the difference between we got to learn the differences amongst each other. You feel me? We got to learn the differences, even just at a primate level, like man and woman are different, so we process things differently, we deal with things differently. You know what I mean? So to keep wanting to expect us to react or deal with things differently, it really goes against our nature. That's the word. You know what I mean? Our natures are different. You feel me? I don't even think it's when you say the roles, because like Willie brought it up before, we really talk about gender roles in relationships. You know what I mean? And I guess I never thought of gender roles because, like you said, son, I know women in my family who deal with things completely different. You know what I mean? Some are cold as ice, some are warm. You know what I mean? Affection, they want to talk about it. You feel me? So each person individually, yes, is different. But, I feel like too many people get their cues from popular culture now. And I think that's how we think relationships should be. You feel me? Like you mentioned, the ride or die. Like,
yeah, I don't like that. And I don't like that. Yeah, but see, it's a lot of people that believe that it's a lot of people, and females included, like not even just men, females included, that believe that quote unquote ride or die, they have to be with you through, like a ride or die is a person that can take all your shit and still be there. And it's like I think I said, when you look at those type of situations and like on the outside looking in, you're like, what the hell? Like she's doing all that shit. And then it's like when we talk about like I could bring it up to a love and hip hop situation with the Joel Santana and whatever her name, Kimbella, that shit. Like most people that idolize that ride or die thing would say, oh well, she really loyal. She a ride or die because she stuck with him, and now he's, after how many years, he decided to marry her after all this stuff that he had put her through. Like, it's like we accept that because and a lot of people accept that because they think that, okay, well, this is the ride or die chick and she deserves her happiness. Is not looking at it like, she put up with all that and she didn't have to, or she didn't realize her worth. You know what I'm saying? So she settled and dealt with all this stuff and she didn't even have to. But that's considered a quote unquote ride or die.
Yeah, I think the other is how much they promote the drama behind all that stuff, and they think that, you know, being resilient through the drama is where it's at, you know, and this isn't really new, you know, this is something that we've seen throughout the course of history when it comes to the things that some people had to put up with between, you know, people mainly. You know, it seemed like mainly women getting cheated on, maybe physically abused, things of that nature, and, you know, even them telling their daughters or granddaughters to be strong and be resilient through the pressures and the problems, and not realizing that that's not necessary. You know, you don't have to go through that. You don't have to put up with that just to have a relationship. Or think that that's a healthy type of relationship to have. You know, now that we have the common sense and common knowledge to say, you know what, enough is enough, stop the cycle of abuse, stop the cycle of psychological abuse, physical abuse, things of that nature, you know, we should be able to step away from that. But, you know, all too often, like you mentioned, Clint, it's the popular culture. It's the fact that TV shows, Instagram, Twitter, things like that. I mean, you got memes out there. You have reality, you know, quote unquote reality shows that promote the drama, the violence, the cheating, the like you said, the ride or die, and uplift that activity, uplift.
Yeah, they basically promote.
You know what? There's a problem here. There's a problem here, and we need to heal these women and these men that go through these kind of things, instead of pushing them further and further into that trap.
Fact. Let me ask you something, Willie. When have you ever had a conversation with the fellas and you heard somebody say they really wanted a ride or die chick? Now, I've never heard that. I've heard dudes say they want a woman that's going to stick with them through thick and thin, and that doesn't necessarily. And when they talk about that, they're not really talking about through cheating and stuff like that. They talking about through the ups and downs of life.
Yeah, right,
you know what
right.
I mean?
I mean, the people I deal with, no matter, you know, what the walk of life is, you know, we talk about between loyalty and mutual respect and having goals and plans and things of that nature. That's what we trying to uplift. That's what we trying to experience. We're not trying to experience, you know, or try to put somebody through the BS that, you know, that's promoted, you know, out there in popular culture, was promoted, you know, on these TV shows and that kind of thing. You know, I know me myself, I'm more of a person who I like to minimize all the drama in my life. You know, I'm all about being straightforward, to the point about what I'm trying to do. I'm not, you know, trying to play games in any facet of my life, you know. So and pretty much all of my friends are the same way. You know, some of my associates are too. You know, just people that I deal with on the day to day. You know, I don't detect that and haven't been told that, you know, they're looking for somebody who they can run game on or you know, that kind of thing. I mean, that was some stuff that some people did when they was kids. You know, not while we in our 30s, our 40s, that kind of thing. You know, but you know, I think that a lot of us recognize that there's still a problem out here, because you still have these broken people who come from these relationships, and they still, even though they claim they don't want to have that, they still dwell on that, and they still feed off of that, right? They still crave that
because they
kind of
those are the people,
negative attention, that negative activity.
Yeah, those are the people that you say, like, I'm not saying that all men are like this, and like it's females like that, like they get sucked into that, there's always some shit happening, like it's always and they like that, like because it's like it can be addictive, like this is what I'm going through, so it's kind of like the woe is me, look at me, I'm going through this, look at me, I'm going through this, and it's almost like they want that love and hip hop shit, and it's like, yo, get your life together. You old as fuck. Why are you still going through this shit? Like, how many times you gotta be crying about you having the same problems every year, almost every couple months? Like, you ain't tired of that? People like that. That's why, like, you get them guys that sleeping with all these females, and then they be like, I hate this drama, because all of a sudden, somehow, like, shit get, like, whether you creeping or whatever you're doing, the shit hits the fan, and all of a sudden, your life is crazy, man. I don't know what's going on. You know that's what's going on. You sleeping with this person, telling her you love her, you sleeping with this person, they calling each other, arguing each other over nothing, over somebody that's not worth it, and then you sitting there laughing back like I got these two females fighting over me. Some people like that shit. It's their own personal love in hip-hop. And that's their life, because they ain't got shit going. They ain't got no real job. They ain't got nothing really going for themselves. They miserable. They messing with broken people. And this is what happens. This is a cycle of stupidness.
Oh, no. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think a lot of it is people allowing that kind of stuff to happen in their life. But we all, I think, not we all, but I think we have to, the people, at least the people who don't want to have that, we need to definitely take a step back when we are approached with that kind of thing. I know a buddy of mine, he went through that with a girl he was dating, where everything she, was about was some kind of, I wouldn't say all drama, but you know what I mean? It was always some kind of attention-grabbing type of situation or episode. And so it was like she just couldn't be happy without attention being shined on her, either from him or from somebody around her. And, I had to tell him, like, man, if you're really not feeling that, then you need to, take her to the side and have a talk with her. And if she can't straighten that up, then you probably want to just get out of that situation, because you're just going to be miserable forever. She's not gonna change if you don't tell her what the problem is, and especially if you're trying to save her from those situations instead of, allowing her to help herself. You know what I'm saying? Too often, and I see this mainly with guys, of course, because back to gender roles, we usually want to save everybody, or we usually want to fix everything. Is that all too often we're too busy trying to come up with a solution and trying to say, oh, you know what, if I do this, things will be better, or if I do this for her, she'll, her life will straighten up, that kind of thing. And it's like, no, sometimes we got to let grown people be grown. Sometimes we got to let, people who are having challenges, let them fall, so that way they can learn how to get up on their own, because we can't help them all the time and expect them to stand on 2 feet, because other than that, you're just carrying them. You know what I'm saying? So if you're going to carry this person through every bad situation that they encounter, as well as every time something crazy happens in your relationship, whatever the case may be, then all you're doing is carrying that person, and that's not a healthy relationship either.
No, it's definitely not a healthy relationship. And I think that's what, like we was like basically just to the conversation, I think that's what society and pop culture promotes, is unhealthy relationships. You feel me? And so now we all got like a weird view of how relationships should be. You know what I mean? Or what you should put up with. You know what I mean? And it goes back to what you was talking about before. It goes back to them gender roles. We've accepted, you know what I mean, it's embedded into our mind. And we accepted some of this dysfunctional behavior, so to speak. You know, right. We accept
right.
it. And that leads us to the situation we're in now, to where, you know, like why do we have to reference what she said, Joel Santana and Kim Bella as a reference point? That right there let you know. That right there letting you know. You know what I mean? Something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Like we should go straight to family first. You some family.
Well, you know.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you know, one thing I noticed too is the difference between what gets popular and what doesn't, right? You know, like you said, there's that Joel's and Kim Bella situation. There's what's the name? Joe Button and I can't think of his girl's name. Finn, whatever her name is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, you got those drama-filled situations. Oh, my man Fab and his girl and their situation. You know, so you have all that being promoted in these TV shows that are like top of the ratings. You know, getting renewed year after year. You got the housewives of every city across America, top of the ratings. And most of it is filled with drama. You know, most of it's just drama between the women. But but when their relationships are put out there, they put in the most dirtiest, grimiest relationships out in the forefront. You know, you don't hear about the ones that are going great. You know, you don't get all the news about the ones that are having a wonderful time in their relationship. You know. But then you see a show like I mean I don't follow it enough. I don't watch TV at all, but at all I watch a lot of the previews and the little highlights. But my man Rev Run, right? You know, he's got a TV show too. Well, he's had I think he's on his second show now. But the first show, you know, it was popular, but then it started to kind of wane off, and all these other shows was being more popular. You know, but you see a relationship like that where they were. You know, probably wasn't the 100% best relationship ever, but it was a strong, healthy relationship that they were trying to have. What's his name? Trying to think of the other guy that's got a show. There's a couple other shows that I've seen. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank at this moment, but you know what I mean. There's shows out there that have a better representation of what a relationship is. I mean, I just saw a show up on YouTube recently, or not YouTube, on Instagram, where it's talking about these relationship issues, right? And it seemed like it's mostly gospel stars and their wives or husbands, and you know they're kind of showing different things that are going on and talking about ups and downs of the relationship. You know, I mean, even though I think that the highlights, put a lot of the spotlight and focus on the negative part, but the gist of it is I think it's something that's needed to show.
Who I know Mary has a show, and their husbands are on it.
Oh, okay. I'm not familiar with theirs, but maybe theirs is the one that's a little bit more positive. There's the ones that's a little bit more positive too. And I know there's a couple of them out there, but I know that this one show, it's like it's like if we can show the knockdown, drag out fights, we should be showing something more positive of, hey, this is what you do to get your relationship together in a more positive manner, not just laying down and accepting anything. Go to therapy. Go to if you're going to go through these things, get a treatment plan or get a way to improve your situation versus just being a part of the problem. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So basically what I'm saying is, I think we need to promote that versus promoting all this, nonsense and this foolishness that they like to promote, as well as, promoting the more positive things that are positive relationships that are out there versus constantly regurgitating the same drama-filled, tragedies that they like to put out there with the cheating and the backstabbing and the this and that. I mean, I'm always flabbergasted at how crazy people look on these TV shows, and it's like, you really signed up to be a part of something like this, to just drag your life through the mud and actually be in a relationship that you probably wouldn't be in unless you, but you only in it because of this TV show. You know, it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. I just feel like I always, when you talk about reality TV shows, people say, well, it's based upon real life. I think it's based on a real life, part of real life. It not what was my word for it? Slightly. It's not all real. So, and I think people get caught up on that. Yes, some people go through some of those things, but some people go through most of that stuff, but it's not to that magnitude that they show it. It's people that are in some of them situations that handle it a lot better. Like you said, going to therapy and stuff like that. Like I'm all for making relationships work, but not to the point where you out here looking stupid. And it's repetitive. Like and you know,
stupid to who? Because I think that's another problem.
Like if you feel like not even everybody else.
What other people think.
Yeah, no, not even based off of what other people think. You know, like I've been in relationships where I've done I just stupid didn't make no sense to me. I felt stupid because I allowed someone to take me outside of myself and act a damn fool, me alone. Regardless, fuck how everybody else felt about what I was doing. I don't care how I feel. If I feel like I'm out here looking stupid, I'm not about to be involved. I'm not subscribing to that. I'm out of there. Like there's no way. Like I said, I've been to that point where I've acted a damn fool over somebody, and I promise you, to the extent that I've acted, anybody I ever date going forward, if I ever feel like I'm about to act like that, I don't need to be with you. Because that was when I was young. I can excuse that, being dumb and just doing dumb shit. I'm 35. I'm not about to subscribe to that at 35, acting like I did when I was 18, 19. That's what I'm not about to do. So if you feel like you are acting stupid and you have stepped across the line that you just out here looking dumb to yourself, you need to grab hold of your life and move on. Like, you're not about to have me out here looking dumb as hell. Like I'm serious. Like to the point where you start doing shit that don't, like, you wouldn't normally do. Like, and like end up to some police situation because, like, this is talking about when the females start busting windows out of cars, slashing tires. Like, I don't need to be with you for all that. You don't want me? That's fine. Like, that clear. You don't want me? Okay, go ahead. And I've been called harsh and mean and cold because I've done that. Like, you don't want to be with me? We had that conversation. Now I understand you don't want to be with me? Great. Moving right the fuck along. I'm not about to chase you. I'm not about to pop up at your house being dumb. I'm not about to bust the windows out your car, slash your tires, like walk up on you and scream on you every 5 seconds. I don't got time for that. I'm a grown-ass person. Nobody got time for that. If I feel like I got to be like that with you, I don't want that shit. I'm not signing up for that shit. That's crazy.
What was the issue you wanted our advice on?
So in this particular situation, I'm not going to really go into detail, but I've done something to hurt somebody, and I at the time I was in an angry place, and I didn't really regard their feelings. I just was on some. I'm like, I can't deal with this, so I'm like, nah. Like, you know how when you angry about something that ain't got nothing to do with that person, and you kind of like just be on some old bullshit, and you just fuck everybody, like that's how you in that mode. So I, without intending to, I disregarded somebody like in a way that I hurt them, and I didn't realize that I had done it. Even though I was in my little mad mode, I didn't intentionally try to hurt them, but I basically did. And I feel like and when I do something that bothers you, and I'm like that with anybody, if I've hurt you, if I did something that you didn't like, or I said something to you that you didn't, and it left a bad taste in your mouth, or you have a problem now, I need you to make me aware, because even though, like, because now it's being put upon me, like, I should have been aware of what I did, and I didn't know. Like, there was no reaction to the point where I would know that I had fucked up. So now I'm being told that I had fucked up royally, and I don't know how to fix it because I wasn't privy to it, and now it's like, I can't fix it, it's already done. I've inadvertently hurt you, like, to that extent, and I didn't even mean to. But how can I can't fix it, because now you like on some, like, when you approach me after the fact, like, this is months and months later, you're like, I'm thinking everything's cool, and then after a real conversation, I find out everything's not cool, and I can't fix it, and I'm feeling like, as for me, I'm like, why didn't you say something to me from the gate? And, like, well, you should have known. How?
Yeah, well, that's the thing that I always talk about when I talk to people about communication, is that you do have to step, I mean, not the victim blame, but it's the victim that has to step up and say, hey, I feel like a victim here, or I feel wronged, or I feel slighted, and I need you to realize that, because like you said, a lot of times, especially when we don't intend to do something like that to a person, is that we don't take notice, right? And we don't take a step back and realize that the attitude that we had at that time may have offended somebody. Being sensitive to everyone's feelings and emotions around you is a very hard thing to do as it is, but it's another thing to read somebody's mind. That's you can't be forced to read somebody's mind. I tell people that all the time. Don't force somebody to read your mind, because they're going to fail. They're going to fail royally, and they're going to disappoint you. So how about you step up and say, you know what, I'm offended, or I'm upset, or I have a problem with this, because then they can take notice at that point. And if they don't take notice, then now you can have that real conversation. Like, okay, do you really care about me or about my feelings, or you only care about yourself at this time? And have those real conversations at that point. But allowing somebody to wrong you, and then you blame them months and years later, like, oh my God, I can't believe you didn't realize how mad I was. Like, no, I didn't realize how mad I was, because you never said anything. Two, whatever signs you think didn't come through to me. You're right, Exactly. So I think that, I think a lot of times that people get so, and this is what I call that, because somebody taught me about this, about certain like kids at certain ages. They said that people have an internal audience. Basically, what that means is they feel like everything that happens in their life that's personal to them, literally in their little bubble, that everybody can see it, and that everybody can feel it, and everybody knows what's going on. So they internalize that you can see them, and you can understand their hurt, their pain, their feelings, no matter how much they shelter you from it, but they feel like you can still see that. And now they blame you for not recognizing that, because they feel like you're ignoring them, or that you're ignoring their hurt and their pain and their feelings. Even
apparently I'm being cold, and I'm like, I can't fix it. There's no way I can fix it. I've apologized. And it's like, well, you don't really understand what you did. I don't. There's no way. There's absolutely no way that I can fully understand what I did. I can acknowledge that and I was told what I did, and I said, oh, that's fucked up. Like, I didn't even look at it next. Because sometimes, like, and I'm like that. I'm like that type of person, whereas if I, like, even with my friends or anybody, I'm like, if I've done something that bothered you, I want you to tell me, because I may not, like, in my mind, I don't even realize that there's an issue. And then if I did it, I'm going to acknowledge, oh, yeah, that was fucked up. Like that. And I said to them, like, I understand that I hurt you. I apologize for that. It was absolutely unintentional. I don't even know I was thinking at that point. But I can't take it back, and I really don't know how to fix it. And we can't move past it if you don't, like, and then you're like, you're forgiving me, but not really, because you don't think I understand or grasp the concept of how deeply I hurt you. And it's like, I don't. I understand that you're hurt. When you explain it to me, I felt that shit. Like, I understand it. But to wholeheartedly and then I'm then I'm being told I'm coming off disingenuous, and I'm like, I don't know what I can do. Like I don't and I said to them, I don't understand how if I hurt you in that manner, why would you not acknowledge it? And then when I talk to you, everything's peaches and roses, and then when we have a real conversation, it's like, well, you don't even understand what you did. Let me tell you and I'm sitting there like, oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, like, the only thing I could suggest is at this point is you know, you can state your case, acknowledge them. You know, you should still acknowledge them, right? You should still acknowledge.
I did, right?
That you understand that I mean, because especially if you realize that you were in a certain space that could have culminated in that, and you can understand that. You know, acknowledge that for them and say, hey, you know what? In the future, bring it to my attention, and I will do my best to, you know, acknowledge you at that time versus us having to come to this situation and have to, you know, have this back and forth about what went wrong over time. You know, why? You know, let's not let it linger anymore. That's the best you can do at this point. Don't, you know, I would say don't beat this dead horse that they didn't communicate well with you, because you still don't want to victim blame them to death, because at some point they did finally tell you, right? So they did finally get it out there. Took them a long time, but they finally got it out there. Finally decided to communicate. But you know, I will say that's the best you can do at this point, is say, okay, you know what, I got you, I understand. And take notice and take stock of who you're dealing with at that point, because you then need to realize what type of person that person is, and I don't know if this is a you know, boyfriend girlfriend relationship, if this is a friendship or family member or what, but you have to take stock then of what type of person you're dealing with and how that's going to affect your relationship with them. Because I know when I've dealt with that, I've had to step away from people and say, you know what, this has been great. I understand, you know, how you feel, but now I know I need to step away, because I'm not going to be able to deal with that on an ongoing basis, especially if you don't understand where I need you to be, you know, with the communication, you know. Yeah. So.
And I made that very clear. Yeah, I made that very clear. You know, so please going forward, please express yourself, because I don't do the let's guess what happened. Like, I don't do that. Like, and I said that, and I said to everybody, I said don't get mad at me and not tell me. Because how am I going to know? Like, that's like with any relationship, like especially or guys or in a date relationship, a girl can't be mad at you and not tell you why she mad at you, because you did something wrong. How you gonna figure out what the hell you did wrong? Because she won't tell you. So then for one, you won't do it again. Like how? Like of course I'm gonna keep doing it until you tell me I'm doing something wrong, because I don't think I'm doing anything wrong, because you haven't said, hey, that's wrong. And I don't like that. Like, don't be mad at me on the low and then randomly, I'm mad at you. What? For what? Like, I don't have time to catch up with you. Like, and maybe and I don't mean this that, like, maybe I am harsh to an extent, because I'm like, what the fuck am I, like, I don't, like, for one, I'm not about to have the same conversation over and over again. For two, I've apologized and I told you that it wasn't intentional. I don't know what else I need to do. Because I've acknowledged that I'm wrong. I acknowledged this.
Move on.
What else am I supposed to do? Huh?
Right, yeah, move on.
Move on.
Right? True. And so I'm like, well, how can we move forward? Because we're not about to do this.
I mean, you can move. You can move forward. I mean, I've seen people move.
But you don't. It's a
learning experience on both sides. Well, I mean, it so long, right? Well, they do have to take a step back and realize where things went wrong.
Are you going to forgive me for real or for fake?
It starts to help you, right? It start to, you know, let you or they have to either find it in their hearts to forgive you and then allow you to make amends at that point. You know, whatever the case may be. You know, but yeah, it's a two-way street. I mean, every relationship is a two-way street in terms of everybody's got to put their best foot forward. Everybody's got to put their part in. You know, you can't expect someone to love, respect, and feel or do what you want them to do if you can't reciprocate that, as well as if you are trying to tackle an issue and you won't let the person up, you won't let them up for breath and say, hey, you know, we're all human, we make mistakes, you know, now that we understand each other, can we move on and build something better from this? You know, if they can't do that, then yeah, that's a problem. That becomes an issue that has to be resolved, or like you said, or like Clint said, we got to move on. You know, because that's the thing. It's not really going to be a healthy situation if you continue to beat that dead horse.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I don't know. Thanks, guys, for your input. I'll try. I don't know. Well.
I want to get back to that emotions and feelings thing, because you know, I always you know, feel like that's one of those ones, like that whole gender role thing of like you said, with the men don't cry, men don't have emotions, men don't have this, men don't have that, you know. And it's like, you know, I think it depends on who we dealing with and what we're dealing with. You know what I mean? I think I don't know if you were saying this earlier, Clint, is that there's a misconception about what it means to be a man and what we have to, or how we react to things, right? And how
exactly.
how we deal with situations. You know, I mean, not that I'm out here crying and stuff about every little thing, but you know, I know if something emotional happens to me, you know, my father passed. I lost a good deal on a situation, and it just kind of hurt me. Like, dang, you know, I felt bad. You know, I you know, of course, when my father passed, I cried. But you know, I lost a deal one time that was like, I just knew it was going to turn things around for a business I had at the time. You know, I felt emotional about that. I got angry. You know, I felt let down, you know, by the situation and by some of the people around me. You know, when I went through the stuff that I went through in my divorce, you know, man, I cried, I was mad, I was, you know, all over the place. So it's like every situation it's about how you deal with it, you know what I mean, and what you're dealing with. And you know, I think sometimes we do take on that gender role of we try to be tough, we try to tough through it, you know. I mean, I tried to do that with my dad. You know, my dad passed when I was like, I think I was 21 or 22, something like that, and it was like, I might be a little older, I can't remember now, but it was one of those situations where, you know, I'm trying to be strong for the family, you know, for my mom, for my sister, stuff like that. I was handling everything. You know, I was busy in the situation, right? Busy, you know, taking care of arrangements, busy trying to take care of the house, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, it was like, it didn't hit me until like I was in the funeral home, and then, you know, it just all came on me, you know. So, but it was one of those situations where, you know, I think I you know, tried to take on that role, but, you know, I didn't care that there was people around that you know, I mean, yeah, you know, I think I knew at that point that people would understand why I was like that, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, I think people, you know, get it twisted, like men don't have emotions. Like, no, that's not the case. It's just that sometimes we take things a little less serious or a little less reactive to the things, right? And plus, too, I think there's some women that do the same thing. Not every woman is emotional like they try to put out there. Like, not every woman is overly emotional. You know, not that it's a woman thing either. You know what I mean? I think it's always about how people react to things. I mean, I know some men who can be very emotional because they just don't have coping skills, you know, but that could be a female, too, that just doesn't have coping skills, and they could be overly emotional about everything. So it's not a gender thing. I think it's just a person, you know, person by person situation.
I definitely agree with that. And also, to add to it is, we gotta stop. People gotta stop wanting people to react the way they want them to react. You feel me? Or how they expect them to react. Like when my father passed, I was 22, And I remember, after the funeral, I tried to keep my composure, and then somebody came to me and she said, she was like, I knew you was going to try to be tough when you get up there and speak. You feel me now?
Right.
I just shook it off, but to me that was kind of disrespectful. Because who are you to tell me how to mourn?
Right.
Who are you to tell me how to handle this situation? Just because you want to see me break down or you expect me to break down, that's why I didn't do it.
Right.
Because my pain isn't for you. You feel me? What I'm going through my suffering isn't for you to see. If you so happen to see it, then so be it, but it isn't for you to see. So just because I don't show it to you doesn't mean I'm not suffering. You understand? So like we got to stop putting, and even in relationships, like even in an intimate relationship when you're dealing with your significant other, that's why I say communication is always key, because you got to be with somebody who you can communicate with and who understand you. Too many of us are in relationships with people who we don't communicate well with. And that's where the issue lies. We don't communicate well, so you feel me? You may think I'm holding back. I may think you're not showing emotion. But no, that's maybe just how you deal with things. And if I can't accept that, then that's on me. If you can't accept how I deal with it, then that's on you, and maybe we should part ways. But don't try, even if I make a little compromise, I can't change who I am, my nature, just to appease you. Because then that's when resentment builds.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know what I mean? So
I mean, I think some people can handle other people's emotional states sometimes. You know what I mean? I mean, there's people who can overlook certain things. But like you said, if you can't overlook that and you can't be able to deal with how I'm doing me, right? So
exactly.
how I'm handling my situations, because I mean, like a friend of mine, she was married to this guy, and he, I don't know what it was. My man, nothing bothered him, like nothing. Like Brent was due, he didn't have a job. He didn't care. He didn't want to do a side hustle. He didn't want to do, whatever. He just was like, man, everything. He was just like, everything work out. And then there was another situation they had, something with the kid. Oh, everything's cool. Everything was he was so nonchalant about everything. I mean, some things you'd be like, you know what, that's kind of a commendable trait that you could just cool breeze through it. But then there was, there was a lot of situations where it was like, bro, like sometimes you gotta get ruffled, get your feathers ruffled up so you can jump up and do something, or you gotta feel like you got a little bit of fire up under your butt, you know what I mean? So I think that if you can deal with a person's method of coping, their coping skills. If you can, if for her, it drove her crazy. It basically drove her crazy. She couldn't handle it where, it was like every time he didn't get emotional or fired up or whatever the case may be, how she felt like he should do. If he didn't get the way she wanted him to get, she was just, it bothered her, And a couple of times I did tell her, like, look, let my man be him. Let him do what he, how he gonna do it. As long as he coming up with a solution, then let him do what he's gonna do. He don't have to cry with you and feel like everything's falling apart. Sometimes just let him be the rock in your storm.
Right.
And I think that's something people have to recognize is. And I think especially in this world where mental and emotional health is at the forefront so much, one of our newscasters here in Detroit just committed suicide. You look at how she was on TV, you look at how she was in her social media, you'd have never thought. But somebody may have recognized some signs. Somebody may have seen some things that she wasn't coping with well, and and either we're just living with it or dealing with it, And that's the thing. We have to recognize when people that we love or people that we're around or people that we're in relationships with, how are they coping with the troubles of life, with the hardships, with the ups and downs. How are they dealing with it? And if you can work with them on that, great. And help them and if they need help or if they need, just support, or if they need whatever the case may be. Some people just need support. Some people just need a cheering squad. Some people just need, that person to stand by them through it all. Not everybody's going to go to an extreme with it, but my point is that I think a lot of times we have to realize that everybody copes differently. Everybody deals with things differently.
Yeah, I've been told that. I remember I had an incident with my daughter's dad back when she was younger, and me and him had a conversation, and I guess the way I reacted wasn't the way that he expected me to react. And even with my son's dad, they said the same thing. Like I am very, like, I don't act the way most people will react to things. And I tell them, I said, you got to understand that I've been through some stuff in my life. I'm really guarded. So it's messed up to say, but I have a low expectation of people, period. Whether I'm in a relationship with them, I'm friends with them, whatever. I've been through some shit. So I expect the worst. So therefore, when stuff happens, I'm like, oh, okay. And it comes off as if I'm cool, and it's like, no, I'm guarded, and here's why. And this is how I'm going to be, because I have low expectations of people, because people seem, if you have them up so high on the pedestal, when they don't respond or do things the way you want, you get let down, or you get caught up in that, that ideal of what you thought they were, and it's such a letdown that you feel bad about it, and you go through these different emotions. And it's like, no, I expected you to fuck up, because that's what people do. People are human; they're gonna fuck up. Mm-hmm. So if I'm giving you the lowest of the lows, the lowest bar, I'm expecting you to fuck up royally. And when you do, it's like, okay, I was waiting on that. I was waiting for the other shoe to drop because it was too good to be true, and stuff like that. And maybe that's not the right way to look at things, but that's just how, like I said, from personal experience, that's how I am. And maybe I need to be more emotional and stuff like that. And that's another thing, like, I'm not as emotional because I'm guarded. And that's a problem for most men, because they want females to be emotional. And it's like, I don't have time, like, I can be.
Don't say that.
What? Don't say what?
You can't say most men want women to be emotional, because
well, no, not. I don't want to say most men want, but some of them expect us to be emotional, and then when I actually show emotion, it's like, oh, you care. I'm like, I do. Like, I cared the whole time. I just didn't. I had this wall up, so I ain't got time for you. I'm not gonna show it. Like, I'm like that. Like, I don't want to show you. Like, I can get an argument with somebody right now. Depending on the type of argument I'm having, I might not react with my emotion. I might just be still as hell. And because you're not getting that rise out of me, now you're mad. And it's like, I may be really upset, but I won't give you the satisfaction to see me upset. Doesn't mean I don't feel it, but I'm not going to give you that to know that you upset me. So that may give off the idea that I'm emotionless, but I actually, in my feelings, I'm just not about to give you that satisfaction to be like that. Sometimes you can't help it. You're just emotional. You're going to be, and yell and kick and scream and bust out in tears. And when I'm like that, I want to hurt somebody. So I don't got time for that. If you get me to the point where I'm emotional and I cry, I'm probably going to want to put my hands on you. So, Because to me, and as messed up as it sounds, for me, crying is, for me, I feel like it's a weakness for me. Not for anybody else, but for me personally, if I cry, if you get me to cry, now you see me as weak, so now I got to fuck you up because I let you know I'm not weak. So I'd rather not react and be great and live my life. Maybe that's wrong. I don't know, but that's how I'm wired, I'm not cool. Sonny got feelings, but I know I get that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, having somebody put their expectations on you is hard, because we can't all live up to everybody else's expectations. We can't all live up to everybody else's desires for our method of either coping or dealing or reacting to things. And the people just have to, take a step back and realize that we all different. Every human has their own way of doing things. We all have our way of getting up in the morning. Some people like breakfast, some people don't. Some people like, fuzzy slippers. Some people hate stuff touching their skin. We all different. So we gotta recognize that. That's all. We all gotta recognize that not everyone has the same outlook and the same hopes and dreams. Maybe they line up a little bit, but not everybody's going to go after them the same way. So we gotta be able to recognize those differences.
Absolutely. I want to give out the number. In case anybody want to call in, it's 657-383-1155. I do want to ask about the gender roles as it relates to the families. How when we grow up as the moms and dads of our family, how the different gender roles when they are either switched or a little bit different within the family, because every family is different. How do you think that affects the family dynamic?
It's like when it comes to family, I think it's pure nonsense, gender roles. I think if families accept the gender roles, that's on them. I don't know what's supposed to be a gender role in a family, because in my family, everybody did everything on both sides, whether it's I live with my mom or my dad, whatever. Feel me? Man cook, women cook. Feel me? Man clean, women clean. You wash your own clothes. You feel me? Everybody do the dishes. It wasn't no woman's job. Wasn't no man's job. You feel me? If the garbage had to be put out and the man went home or at work, guess what? The woman put it out. Man was home, he put it out. You feel me? It ain't no, you know what I mean? So, like, I never, then there's so many, you feel me? Like it's weird in today's time that we still talking about gender roles when it comes to family. You feel me? Because a lot of us come from broken families. Some of us don't even have two parents in the household. So they never even knew what a gender role was. Some just knew mommy. Mommy do everything. You feel me? Some know dad just do everything. Because I know a lot of people was raised by their dads too and not their mom. You feel me? I know a lot of people was raised who lived with their moms, but their moms wasn't shit. Then with their dads wasn't shit. So, like, you feel me? I think it's pure nonsense. That's just my opinion. I don't even think it exists. I think there's just something people created to try to. People like to be victims. For real. Like, the society, everybody want to have an issue. Everybody want to be victimized. Oh, we're being oppressed. This, that, and the third. Like, no, you're not. You feel me? That's the old way of thinking. Like I told y'all before about my grandma. God bless her soul, Jeanette Wilson. She told me growing up. She made sure I knew how to cook. You feel me? She made sure I knew how to do all that stuff. Because in her eyes, what she said about this, you talking about in the 90s. She died in 95. You feel me? So you talking about early 90s. She told me, you got to learn how to take care of yourself. That's what I said. These heifers nowadays don't know how to take care of a woman. Those were her exact words. You see, she come from a generation where maybe that was so. But as I'm seeing it, as I didn't see the gender role. I seen how my grandpa went to work. You feel me? He would work 18-hour shifts, whatever. She would cook. I didn't see that as, oh, the woman stay home to cook. I seen that, oh, he just work 18 hours. That's her husband. She gonna cook a meal for him. Maybe she don't have the energy.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't look at it as a woman's job. It was what it was. You feel me? Certain certain eras, women didn't work. That was a societal problem. In today's society, that's not a problem. You feel me? It's not a problem. You need two incomes to survive. You need man and woman to work.
Don't say that. Don't say that too loud. My boy's fiance, she gonna tell you that's blasphemous.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I never understood.
You said that man about to take care of her totally. She ain't feeling.
No, but see,
she ain't feeling sitting in somebody's office or doing somebody. Or doing somebody's books or whatever the case may be, she trying to be at home.
See, but I don't like. I know
whatever makes you happy. Whatever makes you happy.
I know it's some people that still are traditional to the point where they believe that the man's supposed to take care of the wife supposed to sit at home. To my future husband, if I ever I do all that. Yeah, I don't know if that was somebody else's, and I don't subscribe to that because I can't even. Like I didn't even stay home to bond with my son. I bonded with him for 9 months. I had him. I was out for 8 weeks. I had to go back. I had to go back to work. Like I love that little boy, but I had to go back to work. Like I can't sit. I'm a worker, and like you said, Clint, I don't believe in the 50-50. I believe in we're gonna help each other in the household. Whatever needs to be done is gonna be done. But I will say this. If you are my boyfriend and we live together, I need you to kill the bugs. Kill them and protect me.
We can't kill the bugs together? Come on, what's up with that?
Let's kill the bugs too.
No, I got to find a new boyfriend because the own purpose is I need you to kill the bugs and protect me from the suspects. That's all I need you to do. Like, and suspects, I mean, the little mice that come in and try to pop out, I need you to protect me from them and kill the bugs on sight because I'm terrified. Other than that, we can do this together.
Like I was having this conversation when I used to be on Facebook, right? Not to cut you off, Willie, my bad. When I was on Facebook, I was having this conversation about like 2 years ago. Having this conversation, and we was talking about this, and girl made a statement, well, you know what I mean? It would come to like, you gonna need a woman, so who gonna wash your clothes and cook for you? And I'm like, hold on. I don't know how you were raised. You feel me? I can wash my own clothes as I do now. I can run my own house as I do now. Cook my own food as I do now. And that's how I was raised. You feel me? So, to me, when you come to the table, you're going to have to bring more than you can cook for me, you can clean and all that. I can cook for myself. I probably can cook better than you. Let's be all the way honest. So, don't tell me, like, what else? I think we done got too lazy and accepted those basic-ass gender roles shit. To me, that's what I think. That's just basic, common adult human thing that you should be doing, and we done got. Like, I got boys who don't know how to cook. Like, if it wasn't for takeout, they wouldn't know how to feed themselves. You feel me? Or if they didn't know how to make, all they can do is make a sandwich. They waste hundreds of dollars a week on takeout, on ordering food, ordering breakfast, going. I'm like, bro, you gotta cook some of your food. I don't know how to cook. Like, why not? That's a basic life skill.
Right.
What if you're raising kids? Something happened to the mother and you're stuck raising a kid. You have to teach those kids basic life skills.
Mm-hmm.
You have to teach them how to cook.
That's the thing is we got to be well-rounded. We can't rely on somebody to be our be-all, end-all for a basic need.
Exactly. Like that baffles me. That baffles me. You know what I mean? You can't go to the laundromat. You don't know how to go to the laundromat by yourself. You don't know how to use the washing machine dry by yourself. You really need somebody else to do that for you. I can understand having help here and there.
Yeah, I'm all splitting these stores. That's what's up.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But like nah. I don't think anything like one thing should be set for just like one person. Oh, everything you got to do this. This is a man's job. This is a woman's job. To me, that's nonsense in the household.
It's a man's job to kill the bugs in my house.
And that's the thing too, is I think we have to think about that with our kids. Like you said, we have to make sure that they're prepared for every situation. They're not going to be always in a situation where they're going to be in a relationship to have help, or they're going to be, have a roommate, or whatever the case may be. They need to be able to be self-sufficient, be able to do certain things for themselves, and not be out here crazy like they don't know what they don't know how to live. They don't know how to be, some type of good member of society. You know what I mean? Basically, not able to contribute. Can be a contributing member of society. That's what I'm trying to say. So they definitely need to have that well-rounded life skills. It's so funny because my daughter is a quote-unquote traditionalist. She's all about being a princess, and so she sees these fairy tales on TV. And I want to touch on that too a little bit. And so she's always like, oh, I shouldn't have to go take the trash out. The boys should do that. It's like, no, you can learn how to take the trash out. You can learn how to dump these cans. It's like, no, it's like you're not gonna always have these boys around. And what if they move out? Then what you gonna do? It's like, come on, we got common sense here. But that's the other thing is, going back to the traditional, right? Is in Make America Great Again, and what used to be back in the day, and all this kind of stuff. I think all that's, it's all kind of a fairy tale. You know what I mean? Because not everybody was running around in puppy dog skirts, wearing pigtails, and driving around in the big Cadillac with their 2-parent families. So we weren't all doing that. What they showed on the Brady Bunch and on the what was the name of that show? With Leave It to Beaver. We weren't all we weren't all living like that back in the days. So these were fictional situations, and I mean even the advertisements were built on that. These fantasies and these American way dreams. We see that in our advertising today. We see people living lives that most of us don't live. There's I forgot what the percentage of poverty there is. There's so many people that's impoverished that living in working 2 jobs and still living in poverty. Having college educations and still can't get a job making more than $30,000 a year. They got $150,000 in student loans from a bachelor's degree. That kind of thing. There's these ideals that they get put out there, and then people take that as tradition, or they take that as the norm, or they take that as the status quo. And it's like, no, we got to be realistic. Be realistic in the fact that not everybody's living that way, or not everybody has it that good, or not everybody, some people have it better. You look at somebody that I see a commercial where they say, oh yeah, you got this family, they got their nice little house, they got a nice little Ford or whatever. And there's people out there like, man, I got a bigger house and got a Benz, or I drive some other type of expensive car. So not everybody's living in the same situation, and not everybody living with the same traditions. Like you said, Clint, there's people who grew up with Dad taking care of the family. I grew up with my mama taking care of the family. My boy, he takes care of his kids, where their moms wouldn't step up. So it's like all these different situations and life situations that everybody is in. It's not all the same. We can't call it tradition when it doesn't fit everybody's situation.
Yeah. I actually grew up in a 2-parent household. And my stepdad, he worked a lot, and so we did. My mom did. My mom worked too, but we helped out with a lot of the stuff like we had to do. I mean, as far as chores are concerned, my mom did have chores for us girls that my brother never had. So, but my mom always taught us to be able to take care of ourselves. So. in the long sense. She didn't like. We knew how to do certain things. I was a tomboy, so I learned a lot more than my sisters did, and I was the one that learned a little bit more stuff than them. But like as far as like stuff that normal guys would do, I learned all that. But it was one of those things where you learn. My mom taught us so.
Yeah.
Now, as adults, we know how to do what we need to do.
Yeah. And then even as adults, we still gotta realize, like, we don't even know as much as we think we know. We really don't take care of ourselves as much as we think we take care of ourselves. Everybody is relying on the system, to be honest with you. Like, the majority of the people don't know how to grow their own food. You feel me? If it was up to us to get our own food, we couldn't do it. Society would fail. You feel me? It would collapse immediately. I'm trying to tell you, because the majority of we're so dependent on everything. We're dependent on people to create jobs for us to go to work so we can get money. You feel me? Most people don't know how to create their own job, create their own income. So, to think, and I say all that to say, like, to think that we should just pigeonhole ourselves into certain roles is ridiculous. Like Willie said, we should become well-rounded. Everybody should know how to do a little bit of everything, to be honest with you. You feel me? Like, I had this argument on IG, and people really wasn't getting what I was saying when I was saying about home ec, and it was like a natural life skills class in school. We have home ec, you have all these other things, but those are electives. You feel me? They're not mandatory. You feel me? I believe those life skills should be mandatory classes, just like a math class. You feel me? If you don't know how to change a tire, you shouldn't drive. That's how I feel. If you don't know how to change a tire, you shouldn't drive. If you don't know how to cook, then what are you doing with yourself? I think we all should learn how to sew. You feel me? We all
I sold something today. I really did. But like, I get it, because like we learn all these things in school, but we don't learn like you learn fractions, but how's that necessarily gonna help you in everyday life? Like we should learn how to, and we talked about this on past podcasts. We need to learn how to financially thrive. We need to learn how to take care of our finances, and we need to learn about investing. We need to learn about saving. We need to learn the importance of having life insurance. We need all these things that we need, like, how to save, credit score. You don't, like, I'm talking 2 years ago, I had to learn that I've never had credit. So having no credit is worse than having bad credit. I had to start over again. I had to build my credit. Thankfully, I've done that, and I had the necessary tools to be able to accomplish that. But I never heard about that in high school. I never knew, like, I was one of the people that always wanted just my own debit card with my money on it, nothing else. I had to learn how to do with a credit card. I still hate credit cards, but I had one because I was building my credit, and the importance of having that, the importance of getting that stuff.
If you watch TV back in the day, if you watch TV back in the day, when they did a lot of that gender role nonsense, you notice it had, like, the man go make the money, but the women control the money.
Yeah.
Like, they control the finances.
Yeah.
They knew how to, they balanced the checkbook. The man didn't worry about none of that. I always thought that was stupid. Like, how you not know where your money's going?
Yeah,
like, how you out here breaking your back every day, and you don't know where your money going, and you not putting none up for yourself. Oh, it's just it's all you. Like, nah, I thought that was just stupid.
People still do that nowadays. That their husbands get paid when they get, or in reverse, you have the female giving her check to her husband doing what he needs to do with it, and him giving her.
See what you just said? But you see what you just said? You caught up in the gender roles yourself because you said it was worse. To me, it's the same thing. It's no different.
Well, no, I don't mean that it's worse
for her than him.
Well, no, I'm not.
What makes it worse?
I don't mean it's any worse. I'm just saying it's flipped in reverse. So yeah. I know coworkers that they give their checks to their husbands. Their husbands make sure that's the thing, give them allowance. And then you have the ones that the wife takes the money and then she dispersed it like that. And I'm like, and I have one coworker that I can guarantee, as sure as I'm talking to you guys right now, if her husband dropped dead, she wouldn't know what to do with herself at all.
Yeah, that's when it's worse. So that's the sad part when people lose their spouse and they don't know how to live. They don't know how to live. They don't know how to take care of themselves. They got to learn all the things that they that they should have learned years ago. That kind of thing. So yeah, it's
like you 50 plus years old and you don't know how to do nothing by yourself. That's terrible. Like I want to raise both my kids to be independent and self-sufficient. If they meet somebody and they can co-depend on each other, that's great. But I don't want you out here just lost without because you can't help yourself. I don't ever want you to be that way.
Gotta know your limitations. I think you also gotta know your limitations because that's one part, because some things you may need help on.
No, you need help on it, but I like I'm
talking about as far. Yeah, I'm talking about because some things like with my daughter, like raising my daughter, I give her a lot of freedom as far as what she want to eat, and sometimes of course I'm watching over like a hawk. She only 6 years old, but I like to see how she prepares certain little snacks she put together. You feel me? But also, I gotta let her know her limitations as well.
Yeah.
And then as she get older, that all that still applies, because you can't do everything yourself. You feel me? I think that's where we can go too far left too on that, and thinking we Superman and superhuman and superwoman, and we could do everything ourselves. And when you realize you can't, it can start messing with you mentally, because you believed in a, what I mean? It's also like believing in gender roles. You also believe that you didn't need nobody. So like it's also a backdrop to everything we're saying. It's also a, what I mean? Like you can believe. You can believe. Oh, I'm super self-sufficient. And when you get into that mode where you think you don't need nobody to help you, that's when you can start letting things slip as well. You feel me? That's when you can start failing at things. It's also like when you losing a spouse, like when you have a spouse, you should be learning from your spouse as well. You feel me? Okay, that's how you handle it. And that, like say you're not a Mr. Fix-It. You're not good with your hands. It's not because you're a woman. It's because you just never did it. You never had to. So now you're with a man who's good with his hands. Guess what? You should be learning. You feel me? You should learn the simple thing. Learn the simple thing. So if something do happen to him, to where he can't perform some of those duties that you just relied upon him and because he was skilled at it, not because he was just a man, because he was just skilled at it and you weren't. But now you're skilled too.
Right.
You feel me? So like I said, it's always it's like you gotta straddle that line. You can't go too far to, I can do everything myself, because none of us know everything. Some of us not good with numbers. That's why that lady at your job, her husband probably horrible with numbers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she never took the time out.
Horrible with budget.
yeah, exactly.
You know how to add real good when they all get added up into the bill.
Mm-hmm. Word up.
Yeah.
Word up.
I definitely agree.
For a long time in my life, making money was never the issue. It was where that money was going. You feel me? Sometimes I didn't even
Right.
even know where half the money was going. I was just spending just to spend. As soon as it touched my pocket, it was gone. Why? Because I knew I could just go make some more. You feel me? And naivety. You know what I mean? Just being naive, thinking everything's always going to be like I'm never going to hit a rough patch. You know what I mean? I'm always going to be on top of my game. That's not life. That's not life.
That's true.
And sometimes life happens and you got to deal with it.
Yeah. Tomorrow holds his own sorrows. You feel me? That was real. Real. You have everything in place. You know, I do this, that, and the third. Something happened. Boom. Boom. I never told what's the name to handle this. If something happened to me right here.
That's what I worry about too with my kids.
Yeah.
Like I got stuff lined up for them, but if something happens right now, they're not ready to handle it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, yeah. I mean, that's always a hard one there. Especially when they're young. I mean, well, your daughter, she's older now. You can kind of get her prepared, but
yeah.
Some things your son won't know about and don't need to know about for right now, and then you gotta make sure that you have everybody else around them prepared for that.
Fact. Excuse me.
Yeah, you're fine.
We need to do away with this gender role talk, or who should be doing what in the house, who should be, breadwinner. That's another thing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand why we still have these conversations as far as, like, can you handle your woman being a breadwinner? Like, in today's society, you know what I mean? Sometimes that's what it is.
But sometimes, some men, not all, some men like to take care of their women versus their women take care of them because they feel inferior. And then you have the women that don't mind taking care. Yeah.
I said breadwinner. Just because you're the breadwinner,
making more money. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Because I could be dealing with a woman who's making more money than me, but I don't need her for her money. You understand? Like, I don't need no money from her. So I don't need her to take care of me. And I think it also comes down with an ego thing between men and women as well. I don't think none of us should be dependent on somebody else to take care of us financially. So if you make more money than me, my ego shouldn't be hurt, because without your money, I'm still taking care of myself just fine. That's how it should be. Either way. You know what I mean? Either way. No woman should be ever to be dependent on. You know what I mean? That's why what Willie said about his boy. You know what I mean? Like, I think her thought process is flawed. Like, no woman should be dependent on no man to take care of her.
Exactly. I 1,000% agree with that.
Like that to me, that's especially in these times that we're in. Even back then, like that, even like back in the civil rights, before the civil rights, all that, like that didn't even make sense then.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You feel me? Like my great grandpa worked, but my great grandma was working too. She was in that factory herself. That's why when people like these, you know what I mean, it's a family thing. This is you know what I mean, we're building together. We're supposed to be building a legacy, an empire together. So who makes more than who isn't really shouldn't matter, especially if no one's leeching off each other. I think we should be in 2018. We should be past that. We should be, and I don't understand why we're not.
I agree.
Me too.
Yeah, like I said earlier, we should be we know better nowadays. We know better. We got too much information at our disposal, and we see all the signs of what's going wrong. So we should know better. We should know that it's time to get better, to do better. Like they always say, when you know better, you do better. Excuse me. So it's like it's a time for us to grow up in 2019. Apparently in 2018 we did not grow up enough, so we got to do it in 2019. We got to get past. Got to grow. We got to grow. We all got to grow together. Catch up with us.
For real.
Yeah, but let's wrap it before she start getting in here being all rude and stuff. Y'all want to give out y'all information?
Y'all already know. Y'all can hit me up on my blog, akingstruth.com. Hit me up on Twitter @eTrentonGrooming. That's about it.
Willie?
It's your boy Willie Styles. Get at me @Willie Styles everywhere. That's STYLEZ. That's at Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Willie.Styles on Snapchat. I've been on hiatus again on Snapchat again and always. So catch me when you catch me there. StylesRadio.com, still popping, always new music going up there. So make sure you check it out. It's the best of the best and the worst of the worst. I like to put it all up there. So whatever's new, whatever's hot, whatever everybody's talking about. Check out my boy Stu from Detroit. Hot new video he just dropped. Hit me Stu is his @sign. Make sure y'all check out his hot new video. He's like a son to me, so I ain't saying it just because he my son. I'm saying it because he on fire right now. He's next one coming.
Heard.
All right. Well, it's your girl. I am Sunny_D, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. Catch me on my blog. I'm now posting, guys. I'm trying to get better at it. I've been so busy. But unreservedlyme.com. Boycott Tumblr. They're going down. I don't know if y'all heard. They're taking away our porn. Rebelling.
Wait, hold on. I want to say, hold on. The only thing they're removing from Tumblr is the porn.
And guess what? I'm uninstalling the app off my phone. I'm upset. I am upset. I posted about it in several groups on Facebook. I posted about it on fucking Twitter last night. I am uninstalling the app. What is it? In 5 more days, I will no longer have Tumblr on there. But I will still be posting through my Instagram, so y'all can follow me on Tumblr. You can just find me. I don't know. You follow my Twitter, you'll see my Tumblr thing. I'm rebelling. Fuck them. I'm mad.
But before she come and cut us off, I do want to say this too about Tumblr is what's going to be their niche, really, right? Some of us use it for quick posts and being able to put stuff out there easily. But like you said, it's a staple. It's a staple for the sex community. It's a staple for people who need an outlet. It's not just porn people. It's also there's also extreme communities that need a place to put their content and be able to say this is what we're about and this is what we're doing, or it could just be for entertainment, whatever the case may be. And so that's their niche. I don't understand why they got that.
Let's be honest. We're not about to sit here and lie. This is grown folks radio show. Grown folks talk radio show. What's Tumblr?
No, listen. What's Tumblr's purpose gonna be? If there's no porn on Tumblr, what's their purpose?
my daily porn dose is now being taken away from me. I can't get on X videos at work, so I'm gonna need y'all. Tumblr is there. Like y'all just gonna sit there and do that to me on my own. Daddy, I want to kill me. I can't. You know what? I'm mad. Check out our website, gftradioshow.com. I'm going to post about this. Go get some merchandise at teespring.com/stores/GFT Radio. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter @GFT_radio. Good night, guys.
Holla. Did we lose Clint?
I think so.
Hey, it's the $6 Million Man. Remember getting me as a kid? Feel that way again with the Honda Accord during Happy Honda Days. It comes standard with Honda Sensing, a suite of safety and driver assist features. Race you there.